Hey, Crestwood, great to be back with you again. Certainly missed you last week, and can't believe we're already here at the end of January. It doesn't seem possible. It hasn't been the best start to the year, but things are looking up, moving forward, and I'm excited about that. And I'm very honored to bring you this devotional for this Wednesday, January 31st. And I want to use this time to thank you for all those who reached out to me and supported my family and me in prayer at the loss of my dad last week. Having never been through anything like that before, it was sort of a study for me of myself and grief and how that manifests itself in different people. I mean, my grieving and my brother's grieving and my sister's grieving all took different forms. And so it's so interesting to see how all of us process that. But one of the things that made my grieving, I don't want to say easier, but certainly helped me through it and continues to help me through it, is just the expressions of support and love and prayer that I've received from so many of you. I can't put into words the gratitude that I felt every time I received those, whether it was a card, an email, a text. I came back to my office on Monday and my door was covered with notes from the children in our children's ministry offering their condolences. Some of the cards I received just had very heartfelt messages. I just can't tell you how much that has been appreciated. And this has really been interesting for me being on that side of the grieving process. Usually I'm the one trying to help families, to lead them through that. So it's weird to be the one on the receiving end. And yet it was also incredibly comforting. I was able to do my dad's eulogy, which was very special to me, and a very close friend did the rest of the service. And it was a wonderful chance to honor him. But a couple truths that I know. One thing, I know for sure that grief hits us when we least expect it. You think you're doing fine, and then something happens, news or smell or a piece of clothing or something, and it kind of hits you all over again. As we were leading up to Dad's funeral, I was doing well, getting ready for that, and then the director of the facility where he lived came to me and said that they were going to name their game room in Dad's memory, because he spent a lot of time in there playing poker and euchre and other things, and that touched me in a way that I couldn't even express. But then there are a couple other things that happen. Just as I know grief can catch us unaware, I think so can God's love and support. And I want to name two of those. Number one, there was a minister that I had never met before, but got to know at General Assembly this past summer because he helped me on some projects I was working on. We had 2 or 3 very friendly interactions, and I really enjoyed getting to know him. So imagine my shock when he walks into the funeral home during the visitation to be there to offer his condolences and support. He didn't have to do that. There were probably 100 other things he could have done that day, and yet he made a point to come to the funeral home so I would know that he was praying for me. And then as the funeral was about to start, a couple weeks ago, before all this happened, I led a workshop for a retreat for a disciples church over in Louisville, and I really enjoyed my time with them. It was actually the day before Dad passed. And then just as the funeral was about to start, the chair of the committee that I was working with from that church came to the funeral home and was there for the funeral. Again, I've had 2 or 3 interactions with him in my entire life, and yet he was there to let me know that the whole church that I worked with was offering their love and support. You can't put into words what those gestures mean. And so the lesson I'm taking away from this is always err on the side of reaching out. You may not know the person well. You may not know their circumstances. You may only have met them once or twice. But they will never forget the effort you make to reach out and to care for them and to let them know that you are praying for them. That's a way that we shine God's light in this world, is that we take those moments, and it's so easy to get caught up in everything we have going on. It's so easy to think, I don't have time to kind of buy a card and then write it and mail it, or take time to run by the funeral home. I can tell you this, it means the world to the people who are on the receiving end of those gestures. I'll never forget those 2 people showing up at my dad's visitation and funeral when they didn't know me well, and there were a bunch of other things they could be doing. But the fact that they embody God's love and embody God's compassion to me in those moments absolutely meant the world for me. As did every card you sent, every email, every text, every expression, everything you all have done. I have felt, my family has felt. We are so joyful, really, to know that we are so surrounded by love and care. So I just want to thank you for that, Crestwood. What a gift you gave to me. What a gift you gave to my family. And I know my dad is at peace, and I know he is at heaven, and that brings me such joy, even though I'm going to miss him like crazy. So I just want to say thank you, Crestwood, for helping my family and me get through this time. Love you all so much. Honored to serve you. Honored to do the same for you when the time comes. And just a final word, err on the side of connecting, err on the side of reaching out, err on the side of saying, yeah, I'm going to take the time to send that card or to send that text, because it absolutely does make a difference. God bless you, Crestwood.